Hey everyone, Brandy Joy here, and we are now past the new moon this week. Are you ready to talk about this roller coaster and this insanity that is going on? Lots of stress, right? So I'm your astrologer and tarot reader, and we are in the week of September 12th, 2018. Thank you for joining me. I'm Brandy Joy, and I'm the owner of vibecourses.com. If you would like to check that out to learn from me or with me, I do have a community in there. So how's everybody doing this week as we enter into this new phase of a new beginning in the Virgo new moon this week, right? I know there's a lot of tension in the air. So we're going to talk about these aspects. Hi there. Good evening. Good to see you all. All right. So September 9th, the other day, that was Sunday, we had a new moon in Virgo, remember? And at the same time as that new moon in Virgo, we also had Venus going retrograde in Scorpio. Wow. Did you feel it? I know I felt it. There was a square between Mars and Venus on Saturday, and that went right into this new moon, and then Venus switching over to Scorpio and going retrograde. So this is going to be going on until October 31st with Venus in Scorpio. And Venus in Scorpio is already a very intense aspect to have because Venus is relationships, values, attraction, love, money, resources, what's mine, what do I value about myself, what do I value that I could have or in other people. And so that is in Scorpio in retrograde. So that's where we're reflecting. In fact, I pulled some tarot cards for you all, right? So we have reflecting in the area of your own value system, of your own, love life, of your own financial life. Okay, so this is like kind of, hey, time to step back. And with all these other aspects that we have going on with Mars and Black Moon Lilith and Chiron and just Uranus and so many things happening right now, that it's kind of like a bombardment externally that's saying, hey, what do you need to do to be good and stable internally, right? You're going to kind of get the stress, right? The stress from the external that is making you reflect and figure out what you need to do internally to really be more stable, to be able to deal with things with more resilience, to have a better outlook on things from the internal, right? Because the internal reflects the external reflects the internal. So really Mars is in Aquarius right now, and Mars in Aquarius is like about, big humanity type stuff going on, right? All this like, craziness going on with hurricanes and just wars and all this stuff that's going on out in the world is kind of a reflection as a macrocosm into the microcosm of our own personal lives, right? So there's just a lot of stress, a lot of tension, a lot of external turmoil going on, right? So, it's kind of tearing down some illusions and things. And so people are really having to reflect on the Venus energies, on these Venusian energies. And so there's that tension happening right now. And especially this week, a lot of tension. So on the 9th, on Sunday, when we hit that new moon, that Venus retrograding in Scorpio causes a lot of intensity, a lot of emotional turmoil. Things get really deep, really fast. So it's like a very intense, passionate type of energy where it's almost like you're yearning to get a connection with other souls. And if you do have a connection with another soul, and that shadow nature can make you even paranoid about them or think, well, are you being honest? Are you being the true you? So it's about digging and being intense and deep. And if on the shadow side, on the negative side, it can have that fear of vulnerability and that fear of the other, that fear of, hey, what are they up to really? Power struggles even and things like that. So there's this drive towards merging with others. There's this drive towards closeness with this Venus in Scorpio. And then on top of it, it's in retrograde, which makes you reflect on it even more. So there's lots of thinking about relationships and values and money, because Venus also rules money, okay, on the Taurus side. So, and being in the Virgo energy that we're in, a lot of people are having issues with money and just chaos in life in terms of their resources and things like that. Yeah. Am I sticking? Is my video sticking? Because it's sticking on my side. Like, I'm like, it's sticking on my side. So I'm thinking it must be sticking for you all. I don't know what's wrong with my internet connection, because I have it plugged in and I don't think it's really working right. I need to call like Spectrum or whoever it is. Yeah. But anyways, okay. Okay over there. Okay, good. So maybe it's just sticking on my side. That's so weird. Oh, it's sticking for you, April? Okay. So it probably is a little sticky. Yeah. Okay. So some people are saying I'm all right. That's good. Okay. So on that new moon, we also had Neptune in opposition to the moon. Okay. Now the moon is your emotional body. It's the emotional aspect of soul. And then Neptune is like the spiritual aspect, okay? That's that Pisces energy. And so those were in opposition, which also created a lot of tension and illusion, emotional illusion even. You know, you might have thought something and you were wrong, or you jumped the gun on something, or, you know, it just might have been an intense emotional experience, or your perception was off or something, or an illusion happened, or a delusion, you know. So that energy was a little weird over the weekend, wasn't it? You know, there was a lot of intensity over the weekend. And so that is what we're now shifting from that weekend now into this new phase. And we have that Mars in Aquarius, and that's, you know, definitely affecting our whole like society, not just society, but our humanity in like a very big way. And Mars is power. And so that's why I put on here, you know, testing your patience and your power. Because with these energies that we have going on, this is very much a testing time. This is very testy. This is very much about like, hey, how many stones can we throw at you until you fall down? It's about building resilience right now. It's about being as patient as possible and doing spiritual work to really just stabilize your internal self. Because right now on the outside, things are a little crazy, a little chaotic, you know. People are feeling, you know, this tension and pressure and like this weight of like, oh my God, am I making the right decisions about finances? Am I making the right decisions about my love life or about my future? And so there's just a lot of that going on right now. And this weekend, even, we have a lot of stuff going on. Okay, so let's move forward now. Today, in fact, we have Venus in opposition to Uranus. Oh, so April said the spectrum is having issues. Okay, so thank you for telling me. So yeah, we have this Venus in opposition to Uranus. So with that, and also we have Saturn there. Okay, so with that, you need to be careful with money. So don't make an impulse buy this week. This can be a big impulse thing, but for me, unfortunately, it's been like, and some other people I know, it hasn't been just like impulse buys. It's more like crisis. Now you got to go spend your money. So it's almost teaching you, hey, are you being careful with your money? Are you being careful with your resources? Are you being careful with that Taurus energy of like taking care of yourself and things like that? Because now a little bit of crisis mode is saying now you got to spend that money. And so things are kind of coming at people, especially financially and in love. All right, so this Venus energy, there's a lot going on with it right now. And Venus is harshly aspecting Uranus today. So it actually hit me today with a couple of crises. I actually had to call out of work so that I could go and take care of some crisis situations that ended up being very expensive for me today. So it could go that way. It could be like crisis mode, got to spend the money, nothing you can really do about it, or it can be impulse buys. So you don't really want to be impulsive with this energy. You want to be careful, because if you do spend the money, it's not, you know, necessarily a good investment today. Okay, but we do have Venus sextiling Saturn as well, which makes you more realistic about that Venus energy. It makes you more realistic about relationships and more realistic about your money situations. So that's also there too today. Okay, so Venus is in a nice aspect with Saturn, which makes you more disciplined and realistic and things like that. But then it's in this harsh aspect with Uranus, which makes things kind of crisis, right, and blow up, right? So it's kind of like, hey, be realistic. Hey, do what you have to do, but be careful there. So it's just kind of coming to a head for everybody with the Venus energies right now. And this is going to be going on for a while, another 2 months of this Venus retrograde in Scorpio. Very intense time, very passionate time, very intense. Okay, so just be forewarned. The great thing about astrology is that you are forewarned, right? And it's great because you can even see things in your personal life. If you look at your chart and you're like, oh, I should be careful on this day. I should, be careful not to start a new relationship on this day because it'll be under an illusion. That happened to me one time. And so you can see those things in the charts. It's pretty amazing and very forewarned. Okay, so Thursday on the 13th, we do have Mercury in an opposition, a harsh aspect to Neptune, which also, causes a little illusion, like we had the other day, a little confusion, okay? Now, don't sign any contracts. This is not the next time to sign contracts over these next couple of days with these kind of energies, with these, Venus and Mercury in harsh aspect with Neptune, because Neptune is illusion and confusion. And so you want to be very careful right now with spending money or signing contracts, okay? Because this has to do with with law and money and things like that, but not in the best way. All right, and this can also be a time of, with Neptune and Mercury, because Mercury is the mind, it can also be a time of just being mentally lazy as well. And just don't try to get too detail-oriented in your projects necessarily, because you might kind of skim over the details or just not feel like really doing that data entry that day or something. I don't know. But it can make you a little mentally lazy or skip things and not really see the details as clearly sometimes. So just be careful and aware of that on Thursday and Friday. Okay. Oh, wow. Your daughter's getting married. Oh, wow. Oh, okay. Well, I don't know. I'd have to see those charts to see more about what would that would mean. But let's see. Saturday, we have Mercury in a nice trine to Pluto. And Mercury, the planet of the mental, right, the mind, in a nice trine to Pluto is actually kind of stabilizing. This is actually good. Because, right, we're going through these weird Neptunian things this week. And so on the weekend, we're finally going to get a little bit more stability in terms of our insights or perceptions, a little bit more intuitive as well, because Mercury and Pluto in a nice trine is great for intuition. Okay, so if you're wanting to do some good psychic development, tantra and meditation and that kind of stuff this weekend, that's going to be a really good time to do that, because that Mercury-Pluto aspect is very nice for that. Oh man, am I sticking? Because I am so sticking on my side. Am I sticking for all of you? Because I'm sticking on my side. I have got to call Spectrum about this. I don't know what's going on, you guys. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I should probably just use my phone, because you know what? I think my phone works better than this stupid computer. Okay, so Sunday. So Sunday we have Mars conjunct Black Moon Lilith. Yep. Yeah. Oh, yeah, this is a tough time financially for people. It really is. I'm sorry, honeys. So yeah, Mars is conjunct Black Moon Lilith on Sunday. And this Sunday is going to be the biggest day. Okay, so as we get into the weekend, it's going to get really intense for everybody. Mars is power, and Black Moon Lilith is very testing. Black Moon Lilith, it's very deep. It's very Scorpio-like, And so this is going to be very much about testing your strength, testing your patience. In fact, I grabbed this to kind of demonstrate a little bit about your strength and that internal strength and that resilience that Black Moon Lilith and Mars are kind of testing this weekend. So this is going to be the first quarter square of the moon, right? We just came out of a new moon on the weekend, and now we're entering into the first quarter square, which is the first opportunity for developing this next 30 days cycle of whatever new is coming into your life right now, or whatever new you're working on or messing with. Now this weekend is going to be about the first challenge or opportunity with that. And with the Black Moon, Lilith, and Mars conjunct on the South Node, it's kind of like it's about the past. It's about, are you able to overcome your past? Are you able to stabilize yourself and build resilience, even though, the past is usually, a lot of times we'll focus on the negativity of it. So it could really affect you emotionally. So this weekend is going to be an emotional weekend for a lot of people. Oh, good, my voice isn't sticking. Well, that's good to know. At least my voice isn't sticking. Thank you. So Venus is also going to be squaring the nodes on Sunday. Whoa, right? So the North Node and the South Node have everything to do with your past life karma and your soul purpose. And so Venus, again, our lovely Venus that is now in Scorpio retrograde, which is so intense right now, is going to be squaring your past and your future. So it's going to be very karmic for a lot of people. It's going to be like, are you ready to move forward? Are you ready to let go of the past? Are you ready to let go of your demons and to deal with your demons with more resiliency and in a better way? What do you need to do this? Now, remember, we have the Pluto in a nice trine to Mercury on Saturday. So that's a good time to start building that resilience with spiritual work. So this weekend, great time to really, really get into that spiritual work, because it's going to be a doozy for a lot of people on Sunday. And then we're going to be on Tuesday hitting Mars squaring Uranus. Yikes. All right, so let's talk about that for a minute. Here we go. All right, so next Tuesday, we have Mars power, the god of war, in square to Uranus that likes to take down illusions in the lightning bolt of God and crisis and kind of blow everything up and make you see the light and what's really going on. And so this is going to be a very intense aspect on Tuesday of next week. Okay, so yeah. That's going to be an intense one. So a lot of people are going to feel that one. A lot of emotion, a lot of crisis energy. Just be aware of that. So you want to be able to deal with that in a better way by doing meditative work, by doing spiritual work. Trust me. I know that most of you are light workers that follow me. So you are healers. You are people that help other people. And even if you don't do it professionally, even if you just do it personally, you're still a light worker. So you need to have that resilience and that light in your aura expanded and clean and clear, so that then you can better help other people and still feel okay and be able to help yourself. Because if you're always giving and you're not ever doing anything for yourself and building your spiritual work, right, then you're going to deplete yourself. Okay, so make sure you're doing your spiritual work, right? All right, guys, thanks so much for joining tonight. Oh, really? The internet? The internet could be so bad too because of all the storms out there, and we have those like 4 hurricanes or something, right? With this Taurus energy. Uranus is in Taurus, which is like blowing up, all kinds of nature stuff. And then on top of that, we also have Mars. What was I saying about Mars? Yeah, Mars is in Aquarius. And that Mars is also, really just being affected as well, which is, it's coming in with Uranus and stuff. And so that's going to be very much with the hurricanes and very much with natural disasters as well. So we kind of have a double whammy there with those energies, So be careful with these energies and just try to be as resilient as possible, and to, take care of yourself as much as possible in the stress level, and make sure every day you're doing something to help yourself, ground yourself, going into nature, meditating, anything that you can do, take a walk, do something. Okay. Aw, love you too. Love you all. Thank you. Thanks for joining, everyone. Oh, you made it tonight. Awesome. Thanks for joining. Aw. Yeah. Well, I hope it lines up too, but I don't know. This rest of the year does look pretty intense, honestly. We have these retrogrades and all this stuff going on. I think we're going to be ending this year with a bang. So I can't really say it's going to lighten up too much this year. It's an intense year. It was a 2 this year, you know. So moon year, emotional year, intuitive year is about being spiritual. It's kind of a portal, you know, for connecting with your higher self. It allows that. It's a lot of intuitive stuff going on, but you know, you've got to work with it and you've got to use those energies. Yeah. Oh, thank you so much, everyone. Thank you. And for those of you in my membership, you do know that I have a lesson up. It was posted last night, and that's on the, God, what do? We did mudras and mantras that were tantric. So we did some chakra clearing and activation, and went into the energy lines a little bit, you know, with the mudras and the hands. And then this week, I'm actually already started today working on the banishing ritual of the hexagram for you guys and explaining that over these next couple of weeks probably. So, all right. Thanks, everybody. Y'all have a wonderful night. And you can connect with me on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. I'm Brandy Joy at Brandy Joy TV. And you can always find my courses on vibecourses.com. So thanks for joining, and love and light. Y'all have a great weekend. All right. And I'll see you on Monday for our tarot reading of the week. So expect another lesson, my members on Vibe membership, okay? Expect another lesson this week, and it'll be Friday, the latest Friday night or Saturday, but it will be in the next couple days. So, bye.